Spoiler warning for those not up to date on the manga and those who have not seen episode 3 of the anime yet. So I've been recording for the past 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
Good shit. I will use some of this later. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and start introducing everybody. Welcome to the Operation STRIX podcast. I am your host, LaCroix. Joining me today are Smallestsenpai,
Hello.
Roski Draftsman,
Hello.
and Cool Blu-rays.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about episode 3 of Spy X Family anime. I don't even know where to start with this one, guys. How are we feeling about this?
It made me tear up. It
was amazing.
It was so sweet.
It gave me diabetes. I think I have to go to the doctor and get an insulin pump because the amount of domesticity fluff, I think, gave me
The
diabetes.
domesticity was so... It was distilled and refined.
Concentrated.
Yes. The sweetest
And like shot into
shit.
our veins.
Yes.
It was like the Red Bull of domesticity.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start off with all of that because I really enjoyed the fact that, and we had talked about this beforehand, that the clearly the anime studio, or both studios, there's a lot of respect for the source material. And that was one thing that
Yes.
Senpai, you had brought up a lot.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
But just the fact that they adapted so much into the episode itself, whereas in the first volume of the manga, it was very fast paced. You didn't really get a sense that they like knew each other a whole lot before the Eden, exam. But I think they had a good, few moments here in this episode where we really got to see them be a family.
Yeah, especially with these chapters now that aren't super long and you can start justifying like putting more than one chapter in one episode.
Yeah.
Having one chapter just for this episode could have been kind of risky if they added anime only scenes, because at that point it's like you need to have trust in the studio that they know what they're doing for these scenes. Because if you add something that's completely out of character, it's going to break the immersion. But I honestly felt that all these anime scenes they made sense, and they really helped flesh out this one chapter that in the manga was great, but also just kind of felt very rushed, where it was like, we're going to practice the interview. This sucks. We're going to go outside. Okay, we stopped a bad guy. We're still like shit out of luck for this interview.
Right.
But this kind of fleshed out their dynamic more, which I really appreciated, because I am not going to complain whenever we get more of these people interacting. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that note, I have to say this is, well, I mean, it's only been episode 3, but this is like the first time I felt that the anime actually was better than the manga when it came
Yes.
to the story and with these characters and like everything that happened, like all the extra bits and pieces really made it like a higher quality, I think, that even the manga did, which I think is very impressive. For them to pull off.
I think that's the advantage it has, because since it's picking a shorter chapter, and it's actually taking some small liberties, but it draws from places from the manga that the manga doesn't really use much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one example that I mentioned before is the family photograph.
Yes.
We just know at some point they took a family photo, and that's it. Like, yeah, and when will it happen? Who knows? No, we know. No, we actually got like a logical sequence of, oh yeah,
Right.
we got we got to get new clothes for the interview. We bond a little in that moment, and they actually go to the photo booth and they take the photo.
Yeah.
And it's a really small thing, because that's the interesting thing. The additions are really small if you think about it. But they allows for the flow of the story to gel more organically.
Mhm.
That's like the advantage of this, or well, the
Yeah.
strength of this, because they are actually pulling it off. It's not like they are coming with random common denominator or
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel jokes. They are actually coming with interactions that make sense within the characters themselves. They follow their motivations, like Anya, like that one scene where Anya is drawing in the wall.
Yeah.
So
That,
So
that,
adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually is great for plenty of reasons. One, it introduces one idea that comes to play later in the story, that
Mhm.
Anya kind of sucks at drawing. It
Yeah.
makes sense. She's like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also plays on Anya's character, because, yeah, she's a child. She has little impulse control, so she's gonna draw whatever she imagines. But oh my god, I am actually drawing things that could be compromising if they understood what I'm drawing.
Right.
Oh no, I'm drawing mom as an assassin. I'm drawing dad as a spy. If they see this, they're gonna
Yeah.
realize I have mind reading powers.
Well, see,
But-
that's the thing about it, is like I think like you said, it handled it very smart, and it rearranged things in a logical sense that gives me a sense of time and place within the story of where all of this stuff is happening. Because I love Endo, I love every aspect of his him blending angst with fluff and domesticity and all of that, but I think he does fall short in certain aspects in regards to really fleshing out the relationships between all of them, I feel like, and I think the anime is doing a very good job of that in this episode.
I mean, the thing is that the manga can be rather scattershot,
Yeah.
not just because of their release schedule being rather inconsistent, but he just jumps from town to town without much care. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Fluffy and then Academy chapter.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have a really angsty backstory next. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's
The
our
anime-
Endo.
I think like the most recent chapters was like, oh look, here's Anya, haha, wacky Eden shenanigans. She got a bolt. Next chapter. Want to see how my home got bombed? It's like,
how all
Yeah.
three of my
That's
friends
right.
got blown
No.
up. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I
trying
felt-
to make
I felt
the
so tricked.
potential more clear.
Right. Oh,
Like the right.
speaking of, I know we're still talking about fluff here, but I had to throw it in there. That moment where he sees the four
stop.
boys.
I know.
I
It's hard.
I started freaking out, and you know, Mrs. Crow was asking why, and I explained it to her, and she's like, "Oh," because she's not caught up with the manga, so she's like, "Oh, okay, I get it now."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrible. That's actually
Oh god.
good, because many people that do not know the story aren't gonna exactly know why that bit is there. It's like,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was-
like when like I first read it, I just assumed, oh, you know, he's just feeling like, oh, gotta protect kids. It was like the
Yeah.
same thing he said
Yeah.
chapter. That's what you assume, and then you find out what really happened. It's like, oh my god,
Whoa,
it's like he's reminiscing about his friends, his
Yeah.
dead friends.
Ugh.
Oh, and it just like, hits
guys,
it like
I
a
think
truck.
we followed some people on the manga right now.
Ah, spoilers. I'll throw that up there at the
Spoilers.
beginning this time.
You
I
just
forgot to
put a
do
bunch
it.
of
I
bleeps
forgot to
over
do it
me.
last time because I had pointed it out, and then I was going through the episode again, and Mrs. Crow's like, "Did you put spoilers in the beginning of this?" I was like, "No, I did not."
Oh
So
shit!
I will remember to
Just
do that
see.
this time.
Just
yes.
throw in bright red text, just like spoilers.
spoilers.
Top secret. Spoilers. Do not.
FYI,
No.
right,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh
Are
my
you
God.
sorry though?
Not
Are you
really
sorry?
at all.
Exactly. Don't lie.
Because hey, we got to break them in somehow. Okay, they're gonna find the angst out one way or another. So just
It's like that one photo that Cannibal always posts where it's like a little person walking around. It's like, oh my god, fluff, and there's someone behind the tree with like a bat that's just angst, and it's like they
Yeah.
don't know. They don't know what's coming.
You get in the box.
Yeah, no, they really,
You're getting
really
the bunk.
A gamble.
Okay, so you know what? I just want to hear. I'm gonna go down the line here. What is y'all's favorite moment from this episode? I'm gonna go ahead and say I really enjoyed what was it the parts where like your and Anya and Lloyd are talking, and Anya's like, yeah, I helped. And like those two scenes, and he's just like, no, you didn't help at all. Like, you just made things worse for me.
Yeah.
I died. That was great.
That was cute.
Yeah.
His deadpan humor is so hilarious because she's like, I helped, and he's like, you threw over a bucket of water, and she's like, what? How could you say that? And he's like, that's what happened.
Right.
And then yours just loving this. It's like a little like stand-up comedy duo. She's like, this is great. Oh my god.
Yeah. So good. Senpai, what's your favorite moment?
Okay, I have too many. If I were to talk at length, this podcast would be like triplets length. But I think my like top favorite was at the very end when they're getting back home, and Yor like kind of like steps back or like kind of like walks behind, and she just kind of stares at them. There is
I knew you were gonna say that.
I could write a dissertation on that.
There is
on that stare.
So much love in that stare already. And
it's like
I know.
It's like so much love, like so much happiness that she's found somewhere that she feels accepted, and she's like, I feel safe here, but also kind of like reflecting on like what she didn't get to have. She's like, here's a dad who like the daughter is here. She's like, I didn't have that. I had to be like that family like parental figure for Yuri. And it's like just the sweetness and the reminiscent, and I literally like was crying over my meal watching this episode for the second time. I was like, oh my god.
My god.
But that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, those subtle moments. So good.
Roski.
I'm gonna go cry about it again.
You do that. Yes. Roski, what's your favorite?
Okay. Let me think about that, because the photograph.
Okay.
The photograph. The photo.
Yeah.
Like everything about that, because not only because it made a lot of sense, and not just because of the when they take the photo, but because it actually built upon things that will happen in the future, like multiple changes of clothes. But it allowed that one moment where they expose those little aspects about themselves to each other. Like, Yuri isn't used to have many clothes, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't think I like this color. Oh, you will look lovely in every color. Yeah, but it's actually because if it gets so in blood, the stains are gonna be too noticeable.
So your thing isn't just the photo, but it's also like the time at the tailor's shop and like them like leading up to it is what you're saying.
That segment, because it was like, it's actually it's one of those moments that is really simple, it's really small, but it allows the characters to show those little things about each other that they do not know yet.
Blue, what is your favorite scene from this episode?
Okay. I really enjoyed Anya giving a house tour to Yor and using that as an excuse to show us everyone's rooms. Because I do believe that, unfortunately, in the manga, they're kind of bare bones. You only really see kind of close-ups when the characters are like sleeping, or maybe Lloyd's like sitting in a chair. You don't actually get to see a full shot of it. And I just love all the details they added to like Anya's room, where they gave her a really cute rug, and they gave her knickknacks and shelves and a dresser and all this really just cute stuff. Like Lloyd's room does look kind of bare bones, but he's a boring man, so
it makes sense.
And then, Yor has a really nice room. I really like the design of it. Like, just as like an interior decorator kind of appreciation, I just think the apartment is well decorated. I like the retro, modernish kind of look of it.
Very chic.
Very kind of tasteful. Because in the manga, it is kind of bare bones, like white ass walls and details, like a bookshelf and a TV and a couch. Like, you see the living room with the couch and the TV like the most. Maybe the kitchen like once or twice. But it was just really nice that they were like, okay, Endo, I know that you technically drew a house, but it's so bare bones, we kind of have to go hard on making it look good, because we have to believe that this family comfortably lives in there.
They
made it
look good.
Like a balcony, which is cool.
Love that.
You have a balcony?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
I believe it's a balcony because they show a shot of them, I think, coming home, and like the lights are on through this big window, and it looks like a balcony.
Shit.
I
could be wrong, but it
Well,
looked like
I
a
mean,
balcony to me.
Probably.
That's interesting.
But yeah, no, the house tour was fantastic, and Anya
I
was
love-
just super cute.
Right,
Where she's like, "Oh, I use this is the toilet, and this is the bathtub, and I can wash my face all by myself." Like
So
she's
cute.
trying so hard to be like, yeah, "Are you proud of me yet, Mom?"
Mom? Do you
Like,
love
"You're
me now, mother?
so you-
That was cute. That was really cute.
So that was nice. I liked seeing I just like seeing all the details of like
So
what
I
they
was
had.
about to say,
and
Anya's room, I was not expecting it to be pink. Like, I just thought it was gonna be, like you said, bare bones, like white,
Yeah.
like no colors to the apartment.
yeah.
Because I'm glad that they did take time to personalize it, and it would make sense given Lloyd just being over the top with everything. Like, I'm pretty sure he would do that.
Exactly.
So extra.
And like seeing all those nice knickknacks, it makes me. Well, I know it probably isn't like something that they just got from going out, but I sort of like to wonder if it's maybe a bit of foreshadowing. I'm just
There's
crazy.
a lot of
Or, like they have
foreshadowing.
the seashell on the shelf. I'm like, oh, well, that can be kind of like the beach thing with the cruise or whatever. Wink, wink.
There's actually a lot of foreshadowing in this episode. Like
It could
a
probably
There
just be
was.
like
There
cheap
really
little
was.
knickknacks.
Do tell.
Like, you know.
Roski Senpai, what do you got for us? What did you see?
Anya drew a
I
dog.
mean, everything.
Enough said there.
Okay,
The
all
fact
right.
that she can't draw.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
mean-
I didn't even catch that.
I mean,
You're right.
Can I list all the things that they were foreshadowed in this episode
Please.
that come to my
Please
head?
do
it.
Because
Do
there's
it.
a lot. First, they already foreshadowed. Oh, they played with audience's expectations about Yuri. Like, oh, so that's your brother. They don't show the photo.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
foreshadowed the fact Anya sucks at art, which
Mm-hmm.
will play a bit of a role later. They foreshadowed that they have plenty of clothes to play around, which will come in play next episode.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Actually, when you make an anime series, you can play around with things that you, as the producer, already know happen in the story,
Yeah.
and correct or just tease them for the people in the know.
Mm-hmm.
And the people
Yeah,
that
it's a
don't
nice
know are not
little
gonna
reward.
aren't gonna
Yeah.
notice. I remember I seen that in the recent anime adaptation of JoJo, that these things that the manga didn't because they had the advantage of knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually expecting the series to keep doing this the more it goes on. They're gonna
God, I hope so.
put those little things that they're gonna fly over the anime only watchers, but people that have read the manga like, oh, is that this guy, or is that a nod to this thing that is gonna happen later? Like,
Yeah.
Point.
ah.
Set stomach in the opening.
Oh, yeah,
I can't wait.
It's actually
I said it before we
it's a
even
good
started
case of that,
streaming.
like people that do not know.
Mr. P Pants.
No, but literally, it's like anime onlys are gonna watch this and be like, "Why is there an upset stomach? Like what?" And the manga only are like, "Oh my God, Lloyd IBS confirmed
Right.
his stomach ulcer."
So here's
Yeah.
so here's the thing in the manga, like, it started off as like a one-off comment from Anya to Yor about like, oh yeah, mom sucks at cooking, and then it just devolved over the course of the series to where Yor could lethally take out Bond with just her cooking. And it's like, I love that, and I wish we saw more bits of that in the beginning. Like, I'm sure this is just like a joke that Endo just came up with on a whim, so of course there was not going to be any allusions to that or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like now we, like you said,
I
we get the
think that
benefit.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually wondering how many things were just an idea that he had, and it was funny at the time, and then he had to change, or things that weren't just like an offhand comment, then became a recurring joke. Because
Yeah.
there's a thing
I love that.
that you've mentioned before, Crow. Like
I
about,
love that.
the
Yeah.
thing with Yor and knives in this episode, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that she looks like excited when she sees sharp things. That never comes back in the
Never
manga
comes
again.
back again.
Ever.
Never comes
It's
back.
never brought up again.
Which
And
is a
so-
shame. Endo, you need to fix that.
Listen, we got
Yeah,
we
it
got
would be
moaning
really
Yor
funny,
out of
really
it, so
interesting.
there you go, internet.
was
That's
pretty
all you
good,
need.
though, yeah.
That's all you're
I
gonna
think
get.
Because this thing, this small gag,
Yeah.
reminds me of. This is gonna be very random, but in Naruto, there's Hiruzen, the third Hokage, that in the first episodes of the manga, the anime and chapters in the manga, you see the guy with a crystal ball.
Yeah.
That crystal ball never appears again after center. It's one of those things that where the author had an idea, put it in the manga, then change your mind.
Yeah.
Because some later developments changed what was their outlook or plan on the story, and they just scrapped the thing without even mentioning it ever again.
Yeah.
It reminds me to that crystal ball.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wish they played with it more. I guarantee you, Endo forgot about it. And, like, my hope is that after this episode comes up, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, yours got a knife fetish, and, like, I should do something with that.
Listen, all I know is that given the relationship Endo and his editor have, I just know that his editor's like, if you pitch me anything that's not sad and tragic, I will consider putting it in. Exactly. For the love of God.
He's like,
and then Endo's like, okay, next chapter, we show his mom dead, and he's like, no, stop.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop. He's like, okay.
Have you read this?
Yeah.
It makes sense. The editor told him that, like, oh my god, that manga is depressing. But
yeah. Well,
he's like, for the love of God, stop.
Please stop. He's like, we're the anime is gonna be fluffy. Just give it up, Endo. And you know
he's gonna be like, you're a little too sad. Come watch the anime adaptation so you can remember what we're trying to have this be. Right. AKA, it'll end happily.
Please, Endo-san, just.
You are not Miura. You cannot do this.
Right. So okay, since we're discussing, how the differences basically between the anime and the manga. Blue, you had said that you had pulled up, some scenes, or what did you see? Are there any significant changes between, like, the manga and the anime in regards to certain scenes, or did they play it, like, rather faithfully to the source material?
It was very faithful. The anime, the only thing it really did to make it more unique was, adding more scenes to flesh out that, these people have to work together. They have to care about each other. And, like, actually make the illusion of being a normal upper crust family work, basically. Because you could argue that Lloyd was pretty critical and harsh with the fact that, man, these two are fucking useless and I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was more like a vindictive or like.
No.
It was
he
more.
Just
it was
yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
That was it. Really. He just looked really tired, and he was like, "I got my work cut out for me."
Yeah.
I mean, they are
it was played for a joke. Yeah. But it was. I think the importance of those scenes, maybe it was more to the benefit of the audience more so. Then, like, to make sense for the characters. It's like, okay, well, the audience needs to know that Yor and Anya are, they bring something important to the story, not just Lloyd monologuing for, like, the 50th time about how he needs to bring peace to the West, because as much importance as they put onto Lloyd and how, like, he's got this big secret mission that is supposed to save the world, like, you shouldn't push aside the fact that, well, no, Anya and Yor are also important characters, and, they have their own motivations, their own secrets, and they really do care about this family working as much as Lloyd does.
Yeah. He's
just really stressed out because he's lying to them. These are all under false pretenses, and everything. So, like, I guess for Lloyd, if anything, there's just, like, a heavier burden on his shoulders, and I think just the importance of knowing that, well, no, Yor and Anya would be there to support him, and that, they will try as hard as they can for, like, this mission to work out as smoothly as possible, quote unquote smoothly as possible.
Smoothly,
it's smooth sailing from here, guys. Nothing ever comes up again.
Can I just say, he spends this, like, chapter episode and he's like, we're doomed. Oh my god, they don't know what they're doing. And then the preview is him about to fucking punch a man's face in. Like, really? They're gonna cost you the interview?
Right.
I love the joke
that's actually why the anime scenes make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They allow, like, the
context.
to care a little more about.
Yeah,
it's not like he was just completely dismissive from the beginning, but it's important to notice that these people are pretty much strangers at this point. They don't really know each other, so those small bits that make them, like, present each other to themselves help flesh out the idea of like, oh, she's just a little girl. I have to care about like her emotional well-being, which will make sense when he wants to punch that asshole in the face.
Yeah. So building off of that, because like Senpai had mentioned, so up until this point, all 3 episodes have coincided with their respective chapters. So chapter 1, episode 1, chapter 2, episode 2. I mean, since we saw it in the previews, we already know that the Eden exam mini arc, I should say, it's only going to be 1 episode.
Right.
So,
which makes a lot of sense. I'm glad they're doing it this way.
It makes sense. Like,
right.
It will be a little unrealistic to expect every manga chapter to be
I agree with that. I was more bringing it up to discuss like the actual like pacing of the anime, which I think it's doing a good job so far of utilizing its time and the in regards to the pacing of the manga. Because I was concerned. I didn't know how. Well, this current episode 3, I didn't know how they were going to utilize the time. Like, because I knew it wasn't going to be enough to fill up an entire episode based on just the manga. So I didn't know how much anime only they were going to include in that, and I was a little concerned. But I think whichever studio handled this episode,
it was WIT.
Was it? Okay, well, yeah, they knocked it out of the park. I feel like they really.
Well, the writers know the hardest part.
Yeah.
I think WIT kind of disappointed me in the technical aspects of this.
Oh,
this
really?
episode.
Okay.
Bring
it on, Roski. I want to hear it.
I actually mentioned this in the review. I'm not talking about like the writing or the pacing.
Yeah.
The actual narrative on the episode. I think that's solid.
Yeah.
Fluffy and so, but there are the animation in general was a lot more simplified this episode compared to episode 1 and even a bit episode 2.
Yeah,
sure, there's not like there was much need to have super fancy animation because there's only one scene that actually counts like an action beat.
Yeah,
but generally speaking, there were many moments, small moments where the artwork looked off or the animation looked a little stiff.
Really? What scenes in particular stand out to you?
Okay. I mean, there are like the necessary evils, like the crowd shot.
Okay, crowd shot. Hold on. We need to talk about that crowd shot.
We need to talk about that. We really, really do.
It was rough. It was
really rough.
Yeah.
It was jarring. I really hate. I don't know what is going on with Japan with their 3D CGI.
It's
like
cheaper.
their
It's
use
cheaper
of
than
it.
animation.
It's
definitely cheaper. It just it's very jarring, and it's like, please stop. I am begging you.
This is why Anya says they look like trash.
Rough.
I know it's to
like
save money. I know
why
it's
she
to
says
save
it.
money, but it still fucking hurts.
It hurts to see.
I mean, I'm just glad it wasn't like a full-on person walking up to them who's like 3D CGI. You clearly tell, like it's a farther away crowd shot, so like you can kind of get away with that.
It's acceptable, and it's understandable.
It's acceptable for a crowd shot.
Yeah.
I still don't like it, but it's acceptable.
It looks rough. I mean, it's understandable because crowd shots in particular are hell for animators. Like, really fucking hell.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki, with all his crowd shots in his movies, he's an absolute lunatic. I pity the studio when they have to handle that because, my God, that takes an ungodly amount of time and money, production money, because, crowd shots are the worst, are probably an animator's nightmare. You have to. So it's not surprising that television anime often do not do crowd shots or cheapen crowd shots in many ways. So if you see crowd shots in other series, you usually see them being completely static.
Yeah. Question, Roski.
Lots of people that do not move. But in this case, in this scene, it was inevitable that they had to move because that's the point of the scene. Like, they are all moving, and we're trying to find this person snatcher among the crowd that is moving.
Yeah.
God, that's
So-
gonna be
so-
a fucking. That's
so
gonna be
here-
really bad for the.
So I have a
for the
question
art, too.
for you, Roski. What? So you had meant you specifically said TV anime. Do you think this is something that they'll go back on and hand draw in the Blu-ray edition? Because that's kind of par for the course. I feel like with
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are other scenes that they're gonna redraw because there are some other parts where the artwork is actually a little sloppy. One of the screenshots that I put in the review channel,
yeah,
it's actually an
Sorry,
example of
I should
that.
pull up right now.
Like, your looks a little off in that. It's small. It's subtle. It's not like game breaking. It's not memetically bad. It's not like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
they look so deformed that they're gonna become memes. Like it happened in
Mm-hmm.
the Dragon Ball Super anime. Like those were really rough drawings.
Mm-hmm.
But there are already scenes where they look a little off, or they move a little stiff.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I expected that. It's to be expected. I do not look down on the studio because they have a limited budget, a limited production time, and this episode is so chill.
Mm-hmm.
It has little action, so it made sense they cheapened the animation for this one.
Yeah.
But I still noticed that the animation took a small dip in quality in
Okay.
general. I do think that those small scenes that look a little off are gonna be redrawn,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not think the crowd is gonna be redrawn because my god, that will take
Yeah.
too much time.
Interesting. Okay. I
just want to say something, and I just want to say thank you, Roski, for your animation background. Because I'm going to be honest, my primate brain is still trying to comprehend the fact that these characters are moving.
You're
So I really appreciate you like actually pointing these things out, because otherwise I would just sit
Agreed.
here and burn it into my retinas.
Yeah, you.
So I really appreciate
You
it.
have primate brain. I have lizard brain. Lizard brain only sees like Lloyd, you're Anya. Yes, it's just on repeat in my head when I watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, thank God we have like an animation expert on the team.
Which, if you have not seen Roski's videos, again promoting them, definitely go watch
Shameless
them.
plug.
I'll put the link.
Shameless plug, go watch.
Shameless plug. I'll put the link right
Shameless
now.
plug,
somewhere
baby!
Yeah.
We love you, Roski.
We love you, Roski. You're the best.
We love you.
Speaking of love, I love the episode, but the family, like I said, really comes through in this. I am excited to see what more they add in future episodes. In regards to more scenes from the family. I think that's what everyone's been wanting for the past 2-3 years that this manga has been going on.
I remember us sitting in this server 2 years ago going, Lloyd needs to spoil his wife and buy her clothes. And what did we get? Him going, you need more clothes. We're going to the tailor right now.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we're getting you more
Exactly.
clothes than red and black.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God, please.
Right.
Like, we needed that.
I can't wait to see them flesh out the date scenes.
It's
It's gonna be such a good episode. Like, this has made me super excited to see that. Like, I mean, I would like to see them more. I would like to see more than what we just got, like the quick little flashes of them doing stuff. Like, I want to see Lloyd trying and failing miserably. But you know what I mean? Like, I just want to see the extensions of those scenes. So,
Yes, yes.
For real.
There's so much to look forward to.
Yes.
I think there's something we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ED, the ending.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying.
The ED.
Oh, shit.
The ED.
Oh shit, yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Oh my God. It's
Crying, screaming, throwing up.
It's like somebody had put a link beforehand. I think it was Newt, and saying like, "Oh my God, like I can't, like I'm crying, like something like that. Like it makes me want to cry." And I was like,
yes.
Is it a sad ED?" I'm like, "Is this And it's
No.
not, but you still
No,
want to
it's
cry.
not.
Like,
Actually, the funny thing is that Shuhei, the editor of the manga, mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah, his editor was like, I watched it and I want to cry now. And we
Oh
were all
my
like,
God.
is this gonna hurt? And it didn't hurt. It was the opposite. It was so good we
It
cried.
it was so good, you cried.
You cry either way, man.
The finger guns, little finger guns,
Dancing.
Dancing.
I can't believe. I was shocked watching. Oh my god, they're dancing. They're dancing. Why are they happily dancing?
It looks so bizarre to me, like seeing Lloyd happy to cut loose.
So good.
Yeah.
It made me feel so good to see that. I'm like, oh my god, Lloyd's like having fun for once.
Right.
The fact that they're only in color when they're near Anya.
Yes, somebody pointed that out.
Starts crying again.
It was cute.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, the opening was also adorable, obviously, because it was also Anya oriented until it got into the badass scenes. But this one was like just pure Anya imagination on full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, all the details were wonderful. We should probably mention the fact that they straight up just showed Yuri after they just did not show him.
I don't get that part
That's
at
actually
all.
one of the things that I have
so
to say
funny.
about DVD. Like, if you're in the know, it spoils quite a lot.
Yeah.
It does.
It actually,
Well, no,
it's
even
actually
then,
the
it looks like Yuri and Yor are very similar. Like you could tell
Pretty
right away
much.
that's his brother or her brother. You know.
Yeah.
It actually spoils a lot of it. I mean, I find it funny because this is actually the first time we see like Anya's smug face in animation format. In this
Yeah, that too. That was great.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I didn't even catch that. I think my favorite part out of that ED was the when so they're walking back home and then they start running. And, like, Anya's hanging off of his head and Yor's pushing him and like Lloyd,
I love that
Lloyd
was like
is
rocketing
smiling like
I know.
like a madman.
Like a little stool so she can be up higher while they're like dancing.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Why is Lloyd suddenly a good fuck? I'm
Because
kidding.
it's all a dream.
It's not all a dream. I refuse to believe that.
Oh
I
my God.
refuse. I thought it was really cute that they showed like the Eden Academy gang.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
Ki, Ewan, Emil, and then fucking Damien.
Damien looks like a little shit.
bitch face. Yeah.
He looks so puntable.
Yes.
How
And
does he
Anya
look
will
even
punt
more?
him.
How does he
Yes.
look so much more smug in this than he did like in the original opening for
I
him?
don't know,
What
but
the
they
fuck?
nailed it.
They really
nailed it.
did.
They really did.
I cannot wait to see Henderson and hear
I know.
the famous line. I want to hear some elegante.
so much more.
If his voice actor didn't go to absolute town on that line, I'm gonna have problems.
He needs to scream that out
Yes.
at the top of his lungs. Like
Oh
I will
my
accept
God.
nothing else.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
same way I feel for Yuri. Actually, like if he's not screaming
yeah.
about like how dare you fucking take my sister, I can't accept it. But I
want
don't
him-
have any doubts.
I want him to go full psycho in his thoughts whenever Anya, pops in. It's just
Oh,
Yor.
yeah.
Like I want
You're,
him to
you're
go.
my beautiful sister. You're my
Right,
beautiful
like,
sister. You're
pure
she's
yandere.
everything to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I need to lie down now.
I think
I would love to be a spy on the wall, spy, in the recording sessions because I just know that they lock Takuya in a booth and they're like, okay, just start talking, let's just start talking, and whatever he rambles, they use as Lloyd's monologues.
Yeah.
Because like my God, he
He's
does not
so
shut up.
good. I know I already simping him bad. I just want to say it again. He's a really good at his
Really,
job.
I had no clue. Feral Lloyd simp.
Right.
Yeah.
Emoji.
Lloyd and your simp. Excuse me,
Yeah,
get it
but-
right.
They're
Sorry.
wonderful. I love when he goes like from super serious, like I'm gonna fucking like destroy this man and like crush him into the ground. He gets really friendly, like, oh, can you call the police? He was like a person after he just.
And then
runs
he's
away.
embarrassed because Anya's like, I will make anyone who hurts my friend eat the foulest meal, and he's like, I am going to pass away.
Yeah, it's like you forget
I can't
that.
handle
He's like
this.
he's like so sensei. Obviously,
He really
I
is.
love that. It was
He's like
so
angry,
it was-
blushing when he's like, he's so cool. My papa's so cool. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool.
I love that part in the manga, and I love that part in the anime, and yours like he was cool, wasn't he? And he's just like, yo,
Yeah.
shut up.
It's exactly like I'm going to talk about Takio for a second, like that funny scene where he's doing some kind of line reading, and he's like, everyone's like, oh, we'll help you. He's like, shut up, everyone get away from me. I'm acting right
Oh
now.
yeah.
That's exactly what it reminds me.
They have to like quarantine him. They have
Right.
to quarantine him in a room. It's like, do not get near him. You'll mess his juju up. No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's like I know what they did, Senpai. They put a glass of alcohol behind the window and locked Takuya in there and was like, you cannot drink until you get this line down. And he was like, I got it. This is my mission.
Newt mentioned before that Takuya and Ken, they're really good friends apparently, as voice actors. So I'm very excited to hear them, like, how funny they're gonna be, like, screaming at each other, or, you know,
it will
Yuri
be interesting
technically screaming.
to see how, and speaking of that, I knew that Takuya and Mayori, is that
Sayori, yeah, we also worked on another show together.
Yeah,
I sent a clip of it.
I didn't know that they played a couple in that one too, though.
No, they straight up sound like the exact same characters, except Takuya is like an angsty emo teenage boy.
Yeah.
The anime, for future reference,
like
anyone watching this,
do class president or something.
Yeah, it's My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. I only know this because I tried to watch it. And the title, in true fashion of most anime titles, was too long for Hulu. So when I clicked it started in the middle of season 2, and I was like, "Why are you acting like I'm invested?" That's why, because it was season 2.
Yeah.
But it's My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu.
I want to watch it solely because I want to hear Lloyd and Yor, but I guess as teenagers. Yeah. Because, like, it's so cute. There's, like, a confession scene where she, like, tells him I love you, and then she just runs off, and he's like, shit. She's so fucking annoying, but she's so cute when she's annoying, or something like that. And I'm like, oh my god, it's literally just Lloyd.
That's very much your core, just like, Lloyd, I love you. Like, books it, and he's just like, I cannot catch up to you. Why are you running?
Oh my god, they did an AU win.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm still salty about that opera outfit.
Okay,
that's right.
Yeah, we could talk about that. So, okay. I know everyone had a problem with the opera singer being changed because it was a woman in the manga with a very
cool costume.
And she had a really kick-ass outfit. It was
and my thing is, I think they did it for the sound, for the music choice. I obviously have no way of knowing this, but I will assume it's like music copyrights or something, or
probably.
And then somebody pointed out that it probably would be. Like animation wise, like it would be more difficult for them to animate that big poofy dress as opposed to just some dude in a suit. So I don't know about that.
I mean, the animation isn't really complicated, just back shot. So
true. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have much of a problem with it, but
but I mean, it's a really really small thing. I just really like that regal outfit with the stars and the
We do love extra. We do love extra in this server. Oh, one thing I did notice, I don't know if it was just, like, in the anime or was in the manga, and I just don't remember because I have the brain of an acorn. When they're on the, like, balcony thing and they're trying to find the purse snatcher, and Anya starts, like, using her mind reading ability to, like, find him, she kind of, like, conks out and has a nosebleed.
Yeah.
That was in the manga. I double-checked because I also wasn't sure. It actually was.
I didn't even know that.
And
now I'm wondering if that's something else that Endo like was using at first and then just dropped, because I don't remember her ever having that happen again, where she uses her like mind control to the point where she has a nosebleed.
I think she does later.
Does she? Okay.
Okay.
I need to go back and do a reread again. No.
I think it's also her getting more used to her powers and getting a little older.
Yeah, probably. Because I think they kind of changed it from like her getting a nosebleed to her just like knocking out sleeping or something when she's like over. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's what it kind of feels like, Endo changed it because like maybe it was a little dark to just have her nose bleed.
It was like, I'm copying Stranger Things. Oopsie, my bad.
Oh shit, Stranger Things.
Before they find out. No.
No. Yeah. Sorry. No.
I don't need no demigorgons. All right.
No. We have enough problems. His name is Donovan because he looks ugly as hell. He's ugly. He's ugly like a demogorgon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually would like to point out something really funny. It was an anime only scene. It was after they left the tailor shop and like the seamstress and the other woman wording it, they're like talking like, oh, it's so nice that you're, met someone. And the seamstress, it's like, oh, if they already have a kid, that's an instant no for me.
Right.
Yeah. And then in episode 2, he was like, oh, I could have picked her, but she has a criminal record. And I'm like, man, she don't even want you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
He got
like, you think you're so high and mighty? He's like, she wouldn't want you.
She got.
That was really funny. I love them. Like, damn, girl, okay.
He got a young hot wife. Well, you know what was funny too? Like now that I'm thinking about it from episode 2, because I remember specifically in the manga, he didn't want to date. He didn't want her to be the mom because she was too old, and they changed that in the anime episode. So I don't know why specifically, but
I mean, he did also say that she had political there was political trouble in her past record or something.
No,
that was still in there. They just didn't add the
for
point where she's too old. I guess.
Okay.
They're like, no, we don't want Lloyd to be ageist.
Ageist.
No, I mean, I do think they mentioned in the manga that she does have a.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. No,
Trust me, my brain is
you've
practically
devoured
memorized
all
the first.
chapters.
Yeah, no, I practically memorized at least up to chapter 5 or 6 or something.
It's
Right.
a little scary how
start
in
rereading
depth
at some
our knowledge is. We were looking at one of our emotes and we're like, oh my god, why is Lloyd not wearing a glove when he punches that dude in that next episode?
Oh, yeah.
And I literally sat there and I was like, actually, that emote of him with his clenched fist is from this chapter where he's breaking this, and I was like, I need to stop. I need to stop.
Yeah,
I love it
because
because I made that email and everyone's like, oh my god, why did you make this? But you love it, don't you?
We do. We really do.
And I remember at the time she was like, "What? Whose hand is that? Oh, don't worry, it's Lloyd's hand. You can simp for it." It's like, okay, good. I don't want to simp for someone's random ass.
Some random
Glove
ass
fist
hand, right?
Yeah, it's Lloyd's hand. You can simp it. It's fine.
We only simp for hands that deserve it. We have standards.
Yeah.
Not some random run-of-the-mill hand. That's what's
Yeah,
goddamn
no, we're
Lloyd
local.
glove. The glove, no
Look at
glove.
those fingers, man.
And we've devolved into into
You know what?
Yeah.
This is a little off
We're
topic.
rounding
I mean,
it.
it's kind of related. It's related to the anime fan book because I actually bought a copy of it and got it in the mail. I put the entire reference thing in a Google list and pinned that in the reference section of our server. But it was interesting seeing not concept, but I guess it was promo art of the family. The oldest one, where for some reason their eyes are smaller and wonky and farther apart. Then they improved them.
Unsettling.
It is.
Very unsettling.
It straight up does not look like Lloyd. It just looks like
doesn't.
some random ass dad ass fucking character from some NES old.
Just such strong emotions coming from Blue at this.
To quote
sight of
Hype,
this.
he looks like some dude from Free,
he
like the
looks like
anime
Free.
Free.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was he straight up does not look good.
Oh, he didn't.
And then of course Lloyd and Lior and Anya in the later promos they looked so good. Their eyes actually look normal or better. I'm thank you God for changing their eyes. Those eyes are so important for them. Seriously.
It really is.
If you fuck those eyes, you could just straight up call them a different character.
Yeah.
Actually-
the one looks really rough for some reason.
I know. Actually, that reminds me about the whole eye thing. There was a Reddit post or comment, I do not remember who it was, I am so sorry if this is you, talking about how when Lloyd is in his Twilight persona or just being himself, his eyes are very angular and sharp.
Oh, yeah.
But whenever he
Yeah,
talks
yeah.
to Yor and Anya, they get so round and
It's soft.
sincere.
Yeah, it's
and
a
it's just
subtle thing.
my God, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And that's something I've
Never
always said about his character. That one of
Yeah.
the things that I've loved.
Yeah,
is
I said that too. I remember. When we did that Lloyd lookalike.
In the manga, he has a very snake-like, cat-like eyes, and they're very intimidating. And that's kind of one of the things that I was wondering how they would handle in the anime, because I knew that they were trying to make it more lighthearted, but at the same time, I mean, okay, so manga Lloyd is much colder than anime Lloyd, already at this point. Anime Lloyd is much softer than we've ever seen out of Lloyd in the manga, which I actually enjoy, because we still got to see, that part where he comes to jump down and take that guy out. You see that cold ass look in his eyes, and it's very reminiscent of manga Lloyd. But I think with manga Lloyd, I think Endo keeps him at too much of a distance from the other characters. I know that's who he is. He's still in spy mode.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he could do a little bit more. He could make Lloyd at least a little bit more receptive to the family, and I think they did a good balance of that here. So
Yeah.
That's a good point. Makes sense.
I mean, I guess because these are all kind of newer beginnings, that's probably why, because, I think obviously Lloyd got better in the manga. He got better over time, a little bit more receptive, a little bit more softer to the family. I think part of it is because, like, Endo does a lot of research, but he is more keened or tuned in for the darker side of things when it comes to his work.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was a bit of a learning curve to be like, how do I soften this enough without like losing my sense of creativity and my identity as a creator without also like making it super dark and like tragic and depressing.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I had shared it got buried under the anime discussions, but yesterday I had shared a video. It was like a 10-minute biography of basically Endo and like his work.
I saw that already.
Yes.
It was a really great video.
I didn't know half of that. I thought it was very interesting. Just the fact that pretty much all of his early work was just dark, gritty. The only other reference I had was the Medusa one with Anya, and that was that was darker than what we get with Spy Family.
The witch one with the older Anya. That one was kind of fucked up too. But Tista was the most fucked up.
Tista is like it's not like a child of Robert Reed.
Right.
To say the least.
Oh yeah.
It goes places.
Yeah, I've not had the pleasure.
I mean, it's funny because like the thing that reinvigorated his creative spark was working with Kazuki Fujimoto of Chainsaw Man fame.
Yeah.
Somehow working with someone that has such a fucked up imagination.
Yeah.
Contributed
mellowed him out, which is so bizarre, but I mean that ended up being his favorite. And of course, editor San, he really wrangled Endo in,
rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, and it works. I mean,
funny because have you ever read Fire Punch? Because it's more fucked up than Tista.
Yeah, no, I mean, I read Chainsaw Man, and that's enough for me. So,
oh boy.
I'm still building up the mental energy to read Chainsaw Man because I know
it's really good.
It is sitting on my bookshelf.
I can still the darkness, and I love it. But
sorry, I'm a fake fan. I cosplayed Makima, and I have no clue what's happening.
Hey, I'm not hating on you for that. Okay?
Thank you.
It's totally fine.
Hell yeah.
I just like the lighter-hearted things in life with like a little bit of pain, but nothing to make me super depressed.
Right.
So
that's just my personal taste,
Right.
It's fine. I mean, not everyone can enjoy the darkness. I mean, I'm a Berserk fan, but I do not look down on people that can read it because it can be a little too much for someone.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, I really hope someone is gonna like take the fan book and translate it, or they'll just release an English translation of it.
I'm waiting on the light novel.
I really want that.
I'm waiting on the light novel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Someone
I'm
actually did post some kind of translation thing of it for like a couple of pages.
Yeah, the Vietnamese translation. I believe.
Yeah. But please, dear God, make an English translation. I would read the shit out of it. I'm begging you guys.
Speaking of, I want Lloyd's watch. I want that watch. Now I'm just talking about all the merch I want. I want that watch, goddammit. Like
so many merch that is only available in Japan.
If you guys want a Spy Family pin to make your cosplay official, Cool Blu-ray sells one.
It's actually top of the Etsy list if you look up like Spike's Family merch.
Oh my
I'm
God,
just saying.
We're in the presence of a celebrity.
We bow before you.
It's a very cool pin. It's supposed to be like, just a cool cosplay pin or something you could just put on your bag. It's supposed to look very accurate to Lloyd's pin, so if you're a Lloyd cosplayer or like maybe a Fiona or Sylvia cosplayer, you could also wear it. Wink wink. Or some kind of Spike's Family original character, like Spy. Do that.
I'll put a picture of it in the podcast so
you
can see it. Yeah. Shit, we talked for a whole hour.
Sounds about right.
I still feel like we got plenty more to talk about, but I think.
I mean, I really wish we could have someone with like a musical sense to talk about how good the music is for like the opening in ED, and because I do like the musical. I like the music that for the tone of the episodes. I like it because I know I was hell bent on the idea that they should go really hard on like the jazz, and they do. But I like that they do change it up and make it, kind of unique. Where like, I mean, yours theme was gorgeous. I fucking love that theme. From her introduction, it had like such a cool dark fairy tale vibe to it, which is perfect for her being Thorn Princess. And I like the lighthearted jazziness of just them going out on a cute family outing
I think
And
it's
then the
very
intenseness of those fight scenes. Like
Yeah,
the music
I'm-
really helps.
I do think the soundtrack is like it's good. It's certainly like very varied, all things considered, because they have jazz, they have some electronica, they have very that kind of instrumental for your. They have that very childish thing for Anya at times with the recorder in it. And I actually love how that music actually is used for some very simple Mickey Mousing. You know that. what
Oh
the thing
yeah.
is? Like, I mean, I actually love how they edited that in this episode because, in case you don't know, Mickey Mousing is an animation technique where you make the music or follow the actions on screen. Or well,
Ooh.
usually vice versa. Usually it's vice versa. You know, it's like
I see.
like in Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
That is Mickey Mousing. Like the
Wow.
the actions on screen follow the beats of the music. So the first part is playing where she's thinking. Then there's a beat where Anya is horrified about what Yori's thinking. Then they put the other beat, so it follows that freak out of no, screw this, I'm gonna hide.
The moment where Yor is trying to follow the purse snatcher, there's this very intense music that like you're like someone's gonna die,
Oh, yeah.
and then it immediately cuts back to like something casual where she's like, "Oh my god, ma'am, I'm so sorry," and it's just a good little like contrast where it's like she can kill you in a moment's notice. Like you're aware of this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, just
Yeah,
making
oh,
sure
yeah.
you're aware.
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
in the first episode,
Just
it's the
reminding
same
you.
music that.
Yeah,
West
don't
used
be fooled by a pretty face. She will destroy you in like
Oh,
several
true.
different places.
And Lloyd is already fooled. Wahahaha.
Yeah.
I mean, for some
Not
reason,
see.
brain
How did he not see her like
sound
jump off?
That was
steep
the
hill?
what that was immediately Mrs. Crow was like, how the hell is he just gonna watch her jump down that hill and be like,
He's
yeah,
like,
this is
shit,
normal.
all right.
This is
Yeah,
fine.
He was
it's
too
like,
busy. He
she's
was
so
too busy being
passionate.
like, "Oh, it was the old lady's fault," and then he's like, "Oh shit, wait, if she's moving, I gotta do something." God damn.
Right, I can't let
Yeah.
her do it.
Yeah. I actually do like this one bit, and I wish Endo would use more of it. But I like when Lloyd says like, "Oh, I wouldn't have even gone after him if it wasn't for my wife."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want Endo to kind of address more about like. So you're saying that Lloyd maybe will become a better person because Yor is there to inspire him, eh? Will you do something with that, please? Because I think that was really sweet, and I don't think it really gets talked about as much as it should be
Yeah.
in the manga.
Yeah. This is
I
true.
mean,
it.
I just
This is
think
like the chapter where Endo was like, okay, I'm gonna start all these cool things, and then just forgot about him.
Yeah.
the crystal ball again. The crystal ball again.
Knife fetish.
Damn
That's all I'm
crystal
saying.
ball.
Yeah.
Things to
I
think
will
about,
always-
Endo. That's all I'm saying. Any closing thoughts, guys? Anything you want to see out of the next episode, or I don't know.
I want that almost punch scene to be as intense as is physically possible by this
Yes.
animation
It
studio.
looks like it
yes.
will.
I want that watch to
I really hope so.
Yeah, that from that still alone that we got of him in freak out mode.
I was in love. I was in love from the first moment.
Yeah. I just hope like the intensity of it builds up a little bit more
Yes.
than in the manga.
Yes.
Yeah, because it does completely come out of nowhere. Because like literally the page before, Lloyd's like, "Yor, calm down, like just endure it," and then like Swan says like one thing, and then he just immediately is like, "I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him."
Oh,
I know.
Which,
I
I mean,
mean, knowing the context now of what happened to Lloyd in his childhood, with the way
True.
he's talking about, do you like your old mommy or your new mommy? He's like, oh, you missed your old mommy, and poor Anya is just like crying. Like that was the most jarring thing. I've said it before, but like her just silently crying instead of like outright wailing made that hurt way more than it should have.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of why Lloyd was like, okay, I'm gonna snap right the fuck now.
right.
You know?
Love it.
Lloyd was like, well, now I have to hide another body. Great.
Yeah.
I hope Sylvia isn't mad. Meanwhile, Sylvia's like, I have a
Only
headache suddenly.
wishes she could have threatened him first, you know? This episode is the first time I feel like, okay, I can feel like I can trust that these people, the team for Spike's family, are doing this with the characters' best interests at heart, and that if they do go anime only for more of the chapters, or I guess the episodes, it will be for the benefit of like the story and for the character growth than just shit. We gotta fill in stuff. Just throw in some random B plot, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
that's what the kids want, right?
Oh, thank God.
Kill
No,
me.
please.
That would literally kill me. I'm glad they didn't do it though,
Right.
and they just fleshed out. It just feels like they're really adding more value. Like what you mentioned before, like someone mentioned before, like it's small things, and it's just like, well, yes, they're small things, but they add so much value. It has such a positive effect, I think, on the story and the characters and their growth. That's all I have to say about that. So I'm very excited to see what else they do, if however much they add on to like anime only scenes, and things like that. But I'm very like confident that they can do it now, after seeing this.
Yeah.
Because, it's one thing to adapt a chapter like play by play, basically. It's another thing to add your own spin on things and do it in a way that feels natural and, actually really, like, really on point for all the characters.
Yeah. I mean, I love this. We're definitely gonna do this again. Like we had discussed beforehand, I definitely want to do just every other week do an anime only episode, and then the week after that do anime and manga. That way we don't have to do 3 podcasts in 2 weeks. That's a bit excessive.
Have podcasts go brr.
Just shaking the entire time. Hopped up on coffee like I always am. Yeah.
Running on 4 hours of sleep.
Gonna have an ulcer by the end of this. Okay.
Okay, Lloyd, calm down.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
Let's go. Keep going. Well, that was the episode. I loved it. It sounds like we all really liked it. We all really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next episode next Saturday, and then of course the chapter is the following day after. Oh no, there's no chapter next week, is there?
No, there is.
There is? Okay,
Is there?
I thought Tari had said there
I thought Endo was
wasn't.
taking a break.
Maybe.
It
'Cause
comes
he
back
looks
May
wiped
1st, which is
out.
next Sunday.
Is
I think.
it? Okay.
Okay.
Unless it's gonna be one of those like illustrations
Short
that he
episodes.
does, and then
This is true.
Might be. Probably no.
Because I thought Tari had said that he was going to take a break or something like that, but I don't know for sure. Either way, there will be a podcast next week, whether it's the chapter and the manga or the chapter and the anime or just the anime. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll get that going. And in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and hopefully we get to see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.